Today it's time for a best of 5 series of top level StarCraft 2. It's time for a Protoss versus Zerg. We're in the upper right hand corner. You know him, you love him. We have the highest ranked Protoss player on the planet, represented by himself on the main Nexus, wearing a mothership as a necklace. We have none other than Hero. His opponent, down in the bottom left, playing in blue, playing with the Zerg. We have none other than SHIN. SHIN, the latest member of On-Site, by the way. Today seems to be, or this week rather, seems to be indeed a very good time to update your Zerg stock. Zerg stocks, at the very least, appear to be rising right now, although Hero, he may have figured out how to beat Zerg currently. So the answer, at the very least in what I've seen so far, appears to be Void Rays. Just shoot laser beams. It's a different type of laser beams. Protoss used to send it with, for example, Stalkers, and way back in the day, it would be Colossi as well. It seems that the latest flavor of laser beam is indeed the good old Void Ray, but getting to Mass Void Ray is the main problem that you run into. I think every ladder hero out there will know the strength of Mass Void Ray. It's really difficult to beat Skytles once they get up there, but getting to the point, it usually takes a while. That's exactly why it's so good on the ladder. Most of the ladder players out there will play a little bit too passively. Let's see what SHIN can do, though. I haven't actually seen SHIN play on the new patch just yet, have I? Sometimes I say things and I am proven wrong immediately. I've made claims like that before in past videos, and somebody's like, Lowko, you actually uploaded a video of that guy 2 days ago. Look, I cast a lot of StarCraft, okay? So maybe I shouldn't make hard claims like that, but I, at the very least, don't recall casting a SHIN game recently. So let's see. It's going to be a hatch into a gas, into a pool right here for the Zerg. Gateway into Nexus, into Cybercore right here on the side of the Protoss. Not all too crazy. We did see this map as well between Hero and Solar. In that particular case, Hero ended up making quite a few laser beams in the shape of Void Rays. So we'll have to see exactly what the very best approach is going to be. He's also been doing a bunch of mothership rushing. I don't really know if that's really here to stay, but I do like the concept, at the very least, of the mothership, right? So the main thing I think that makes it very good in this particular matchup, if you can get it out, and that usually is the main problem, it just takes forever to build a mothership. You have to go and make the fleet beacon, which is 300 minerals and then 200 gas. The mothership itself is 400 minerals, 400 gas, 8 supply. It's very expensive. But the main thing that it does when it's ultimately out is usually force a corruptor transition. Because with decent micro, Mama should never die to Hydras. Now, of course, if you all army hotkey maybe a little bit too frivolously and you just sort of send her by herself, you do run into some problems. Because she kind of micros like a boat. You know, she has the turn radius of a boat. So it's the best way I can describe it. Microing a mothership is just a bit tricky because she's not very nimble. But assuming you control her reasonably well, Hydras are usually not the answer. Now, I say usually. I wonder if you could go Hydras together with the new Microbial Shroud. I think Microbial Shroud has a lot of potential. But most of the Zerg players that I've seen play on the patch so far do opt to go into Corruptors. And then when you're stuck on Corruptors, Void Rays can obviously be really good, because Void Rays deal bonus damage to Corruptors. It's going to be an Oracle opener, though, for now here for Hero. Not taking any additional gases just yet. SHIN is going to scout into the main base. We're probably just going to try and use this Oracle to then leverage our way into a quick third Nexus 2. 2 Adepts available for now. As long as the 2 Adepts are out, we can probably send the Oracle across the map too. Second gateway is part of the wall off. Hero is a big fan of just immediately playing into the Warp Gate tax. So I'm assuming we're going to see those gateways immediately transformed, which I do believe is suboptimal, but pylon here into Nexus. It's all a little bit disjointed. We're going to hit a supply block here for sure. Unless we're planning on saving up money. Yeah, he has to cut workers right now. He's actually cutting probes. What are we cutting probes for? Yeah, okay. It's just a supply block. Okay, pylon finishes right now. A little bit messy. There was also some aggression, though, on the other side of the map. Zerglings are right above this little tree line, trying to surround a few Adepts. One of them has gone down. Oracle is going to join in as well on the empty base. Spore Crawler in position. Stasis ward? No, don't tell me this works. It's never going to work. Nah. 2 workers end up, yeah, going down into stasis for just a moment. But this is a very messy start right here for Hero. Honestly, I feel like the supply block, as we do have an additional kill on the Oracle, I feel like the supply block really does suck. SHIN right now also hitting a supply block. 60 out of 60. 3 Overlords all simultaneously. For Zerg, though, it's slightly less painful. Obviously, it's still painful, but your larva generation will continue. And then as soon as your Overlords are available, you can just straight up spend all of your larva, kind of like that, into additional droning. Whereas for Protoss, one of your main bottlenecks for workers is just the amount of time that it takes to build one out of a Nexus. So a little bit more painful for... Oh, maybe a peace offering? Don't do it, Hero! Heaven! No! Okay, fine. War it is. Diplomacy attempted. Lasers also attempted. Ooh, we're going double robo. Huh. Double robo against Zerg. I don't know, man. In my mind, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm gonna be proven wrong here. In my mind, the only good warp, or the only good robo unit rather, for Protoss in this matchup is Immortals. Yeah, Observer is decent, Prism is good, obviously, but really the only good attacking unit is the Immortal. Colossi kind of suck. Disruptors kind of suck. Because as soon as Zerg gets Vipers out, you just don't do anything with them anymore. Product Council as well, so we're going full ground. What are we going to use the robo facilities for, though, Hero? 4 Adepts make their way down south. They're going to try and go after the hatchery over here on the right. Templar Archives as well. Charge right now. Yeah, we're just going to be pumping out Immortals. Ah, but we hit another supply block. Ah! Everybody has dropped at least 500 MMR, man. It's probably a temporary MMR loss, as the Oracles are going to town still. It's now a grand total of 15 workers, by the way, which is a lot. But, yeah, because of the supply blocks and because of the Zerg larva mechanic, with the extra regen, of course, as well on the hatcheries themselves. So hatcheries now passively regenerate larva a little bit more quickly. The Zergs can really just stay toe-to-toe much easier. You can see it easily reflected in a game like this. Another supply block. My god. We're making 4 pylons all at the same time now. This means we will not be supply blocked for 1 minute before we need another pylon. So surely we're going to be able to get more pylons out, right? It is going to be Immortals, by the way. The nice thing is that this Immortal army is a really solid backbone against really quite anything Zerg. Other than, of course, like Sky units, I guess. Like any sort of Sky Zerg army, but that's very uncommon these days. Against Hydra Ling, maybe not optimal, but it's still nice to have. Because Archons together with Immortals work out really nicely, especially when you have Storm. It can work out really nicely too. Now, in this instance, we're not going Storm. Ah, what we are going for, though, is 5 Dropper Lords. SHIN has had enough. I'm pretty sure SHIN is not happy with how this has been going. This is honestly a pretty terrible start to a game, right? Like, losing 15 drones is really bad. He doesn't know, though, of the supply block problems on the other side of the map. But he hit a supply block himself. He lost a load of workers. And I guess he's ready to just go ahead and send it. At least that's the plan, it appears. Warp in over here on the far left side of the map. We have more and more gateways being made. Hero indeed just turning all of them straight into a warp gate. Paying the tax, not caring about any of it. Hydra's already waiting in the corner, though. Moments before this... Oh, no. It's still going to be a disaster. That's painful. And that's going to allow, yep, Hero to now be at the receiving end of a bunch of aggression. Now we're going to try and go into a fleet beacon together with the Storm. But it's going to be really scary. There's going to be a good bit of supply inside of the main base. Hero, for a second, appeared to be scouting it. But he is going to be completely caught with his pants down. And then simultaneously, there's a massive Zerg attack as well in the middle of the map. Stasis wards are being set up. Quite like the positioning of that. It could catch a ton of Zerg. But what about the Overlord drop? Storm is going to get the Knight. Such a late Storm as well. I think we could have done that a little bit sooner. In the meantime, the 4th Nexus also gets cancelled. Looks like we're sending pretty much the entirety of the Protoss ground army into the main base, minus all of the Immortals. But this is where that new load button on the Overlords can be really nice. Can just load up all of the units yet again. Stasis Ward over here, though, could be good. Not really catching any Hydras. Storm is not done, so we have a bunch of High Templar here, but they do not have Size Storm. Hero! Finally, he does morph in an extra Archon, but that was really expensive. The rest of the Zerg Dropper Lord units are now also joining in the fray. And what was a pretty atrocious start to a game here for SHIN is turning out to be okay. Immortals, for once, though, living up to their names. At the very least, they're not really taking any damage. They don't have anti-air, though, so, yeah. Just don't unload. Just a little bit of sightseeing with the Overlords. Don't worry about it. So, what is SHIN's plan against the Mama ship? What's the plan here? Do we just double down on Hydralisks? I guess so. I would like to see a few Microbial Shrouds. I think it would be really fun. Microbial Shroud really is powerful here, but I guess it's a little bit tricky to pull off. Yeah, he's just going Hydra Link. So, weirdly enough, this is a very greedy game as well. We did make the Baneling Nest, and he did go Baneling Speed, but there's no Roach Warren, right? Like, this has been a remarkably greedy game from SHIN, cutting lots of corners early on, because he's not afraid, apparently, of getting punched in the mouth. Curious, though, to see what Hero is going to do in the remainder of this series, because he is not afraid to send out a bunch of, well, for example, Zealots early on in the game. If you don't have a Roach Warren, you're in a lot of trouble. What about this? Arguably the worst position to be morphing in Banelings. Okay, maybe attacking them with Zealots is also not ideal. Oh no, they're gonna finish! They're gonna finish! Don't do it, lads! It's just Immortals now. Oh no. Oh no! Oh, that was disgusting, Hero. He just attack moved with all of the Zealots. Into a bunch of Banelings. At least they didn't hesitate, so A for loyalty, I suppose. But this is an absolute disaster here for Hero. Yeah, I guess now we don't even... Oh, a lot of the Zerg units get crushed. We have some more harassment in the meantime in the form of Hydralisks. The private jets of the Zerg still working out. There's Mama going down. And I think with her falling, this is the end of the game. GG. Game number 2. We find ourselves on the map Washout. Now, I was fast forwarding to minute 2 or so, until I realized SHIN is actually going for a very quick pool. He wanted to go for a quick hatch, got blocked, went for the pool instead, and now decided to still get blocked in his natural expansion and build the 3rd base up. Okay. We already have some epic gaming here going on in the first minute of this particular game. Messy game, though, just now. For both players, honestly, but especially from Hero. Maybe we're kind of used to it. But especially supply blocks at the professional level, it shouldn't happen, right? Professional gamers are, of course, human. At least the majority of them are. The jury is not yet out on max specs, but I'm pretty sure he is. Nah, but seriously, like, getting supply blocked, it happens, right? But hitting multiple supply blocks in one single game... yeah, you're just kind of throwing away any sort of advantage that you're trying to build up. It's such a big deal. It is just a straight-up mechanical skill check, right? Which is the reason why some newer RTS games experiment with getting rid of supply altogether. A lot of people really dislike hitting supply blocks. StarCraft 2 is mechanically a very demanding game, but I'm very glad that we have things like that baked into it. A lot of newer games would argue that something like a Queen Inject, for example, would just be boring. It's just plain, right? Like, all you do is hit the inject button. There's no real choice to make. Well, apparently the choice here is to get a creep tumor down first. Ha! There is a choice. But you get my point, right? Like, you basically just have to go back every once in a while to hit the inject on the bases, and that's it. It's the same with, like, Chrono Boost or whatever. It's the same with supply blocks. Gotta make your supply structure. There's an argument to be made where, yeah, I could kind of understand that smoothing some of it out would maybe make for a better game, but I honestly don't think so. Maybe it makes the game more accessible, but in my mind, it doesn't make the game better. Anyways, Robo Facility quickly here for Hero. So this is not a Stargate build. This is straight Robo. Huh. I don't know if that's good. We're also not really doing anything with the Twilight Council, so I guess this is going to be a Templar Archives. I'm thinking it's probably 3 additional gateways, so 4 in total. Oh, it's Dark Shrine. Okay. We're doing a Dark Templar rush. Okay. I was thinking High Templar into Archon drops. I mean, you can obviously still do Archon drops as well with DTs. But this is the fastest possible, reasonable Dark Templar cheese you can go for as Protoss. Obviously, if you open up one base, you can get them out faster. But Zergs will get very suspicious if you don't make a natural. Spore Crawlers are still going to be coming up, though. What's kind of ironic, of course, is that those Stargate builds force out, well, usually blind Spore Crawlers. SHIN doesn't know that it's a Dark Templar build, but he's still going to get detection out in every single base. Prism is out. No Zergling patrol. Serral would be having a Zergling patrol out on the map. Even though he will make assumptions about what it probably will be, there's no confirmation right now of the suspicion for SHIN. I guess the lack of any sort of Stargate unit may already make him a little bit suspicious. It's why we're sending in the Overlord. But Overlords are a bit slower now. Hero is gonna apparently try to, yep, get some DTs out. How is this going to go? Not all heroes wear capes, but these guys do. I think it's horrible, no? Zerglings just win, no? Yeah. Okay. And this is why we don't generally see a lot of this sort of play at this level. Yeah, it's kind of nice. But it's a huge investment that really now hasn't paid off. This Nexus is very delayed. We are gonna go for Dark Templar into Archon drops. That's not a build I've seen in a long time. Womp. What do you think of the new Womp sound effect on Archon Morphins, by the way? It used to be louder. It's still kind of loud. Womp. I feel like they should say power overwhelming. Anyways. Queens on the Prism. Zerglings on the Archons. Now, this is kind of like playing hot potato here for the Zerg. SHIN doesn't actually want to surround the Archons too much because the Archons absolutely tear Zerglings apart. So you kind of want to go in for the embrace, but then back up quickly. At the very least, though, those Archons are keeping the Protoss player occupied, right? Or it's keeping the Zerg player rather occupied. We have only a handful of Lings on the other side. Spire being made here inside of the main base right now of SHIN, which I do really like. It's getting a 4th hatchery going here, 2 on the left side of the map. Not bad. Yeah, while this really has been probably the least amount of damage you can deal as a Protoss player, it has been, I guess, a perfect game, right? At least as far as the resources lost go. Supply block, by the way, imminent right here for Hero. He's hitting it right now. Only a short one, but still. After game number 1, I think it's worth pointing out. Oh my god, I've never noticed this before on Washout. Wait a second, what's going on with her? I know there's an Archon drop going on, but seriously, is she okay? Yo, can somebody go check on her? I don't think she's okay. Here we go. The Zealots getting warped in. +1 attack is done. That means that they 2-shot with the Zealots, the Zerglings. Big power spike in this particular instance. Force fields, force fields, force fields. It now takes 2 Biles to get rid of a force field for the Zerg. We are going to get a lot of Ravagers, but this is the end of the 4th base. Still a flawless game, by the way. I don't think it's going to be a flawless game. But Hero hasn't lost anything. New hatchery attempted over here at the bottom of the map now. Spire is done, but Shin decided to spend all of the gas that he was banking on Ravagers, which now means that he can't really make Mutalisks. Just want to see, is she mirrored? Oh my god. Even the dead lady on the docks, I get, whatever this is, she's mirrored too. Wait, there's another guy. Wait, is there another guy on the other side of the map too? Oh yeah. Incredible. Dude, I see dead people everywhere. Did we ever go for any mutas? Yeah, 5 of them. Okay, it's forcing the recall on the Warp Prism, but the Prism did stay alive. 2 Adepts inside of it. 4th Nexus in the meantime over at the 3 o'clock spot. And you know what? Considering we hit a supply block again, and considering the Dark Templar and Archons really didn't deal any true damage, this is still a really solid game for Hero. Huh. Haven't really seen anybody experiment yet with Archon drops, but it's cool. Oh. Okay. In the meantime, Infestation Pit coming up. Some Zerg players are refusing to go up towards Hive Tech. Seems like Shin wants to make that move. Ah! Oh, man. Why? He lost the Prism with 2 Archons inside of it after he knew that Mutas were out and the Prism got reduced to 1 HP. Very expensive mistake there for Hero, but he did snipe another base. I'm being a little bit more critical maybe on the losses of Hero's end, mostly because of the fact that Zerg, well, is just cheaper. And obviously he's got far more economy as well to play with. But now we've set up for a proper macro game though. Hero seems to have secured this 4th base quite nicely. He's adding on probes right now for that expansion. Normally you would be transferring probes from the main base right now to the 4th. But because of the new patch, these mineral fields to the main base are lasting a lot longer. Here we go again. Oof. I mean, I think you can kind of send in a few zealots at a time. Just send them down the pain train. Individual zealots sacrificing themselves for the swarm. Ooh, good storms. Really nice storms. No force field? Okay, you forgot he had force fields. You're not used to playing Sentry Immortal, man. It's so funny. But he was very late on the force fields. It's like he forgot. Now we're going Stargate in the main base. I think it's to try and go into a fleet beacon, but now it will take a while. Shin is responding with a Greater Spire. How do we feel about a Greater Spire at this stage in the game? I'm not sure. Banelings? Banelings? Probes? Hello? What? I mean, only 7 is actually kind of surprising to me. Gigantic number of zealots in the meantime over on the left side of the map. Okay, that'll be the end of that hatch. Do we recall? Can we please recall? Can we please recall? We should recall. We're gonna run. Ugh. In the meantime, though, this is now forcing the entirety of the Protoss army to the other side of the map. Well, maybe originally this was to try and save the Zealots, but instead we're now using this army to kill a base. Greater Spire together with an Ultra Cavern at the same time for Shin. I think Ultras are probably the worst choice you could go for right now as a Zerg. Oh, we're gonna recall now. Stalkers to try... Oh, what? Where did we recall? Okay, he's trying to recall over here, I guess. He didn't recall to the right base, though. Oh my god, he recalled to the natural expansion because there was a run-by over at the 3rd. High-level StarCraft has become such a dumpster fire ever since the new patch, man. Like, everybody got worse. But, even though this has been a little bit messy, I'm really liking this position right now for Hero. Fleet Beacon in the main. Neural Parasite coming up for Shin. I guess he wants to go Brute Lord Infestor or something? I don't know, man. I think Brute Lords would be really good in this army. Although, they're always a unit you want to put a little asterisk right next to, because Brute Lords are just so bloody slow. Baneling Rollby set up on the right side of the map. Plenty of units, though, for Protoss to deal with this. Looks like we just accidentally all army hotkeyed the Banelings to the other side. Nice control there by Hero. Yeah, the players are 100% performing based on vibes. We used to be spreadsheet gaming. We're no longer spreadsheet gaming. We are now vibe gaming instead. Nice little split push here though for Hero. We normally don't see this, but he's, yeah, put 2 different unit compositions down. This army over here will be met by Brute Lords. Very little anti-air available, but you know what? Immortals don't really care that much. I think you just target the hatchery with them. In the meantime, there's a little Zergling run by on the right side of the map, not really doing much. This is risky. Man, Brute Lords are supposed to be good against this type of army, but I still feel like they're kind of eh. Still though, oh, Corrosives will indeed connect. In the meantime, that secondary Protoss army is moving on the left side. We now have a Skytles transition, by the way, imminent here for for the Protoss. That'll be the end of another hatch. And somehow, some way, right as the main and the natural are running out, Shin has been reduced. I guess Shin took this as his third base. That's why there's still some mining over here. But Shin has now been reduced to just 2 bases. Tempest transition. I think Tempests are a really, really good choice. Tectonic destabilizers as well. That is going to double the Tempest damage to structures. And what in the world is Zerg going to be able to do against Tempest Mothership? Immortals being sent straight down the gutter. That's many probes now dying too. Hero needs to be a little bit patient, I think. There's really no reason for him to be hyper-aggressive against this type of army. We can just leave the base. Yeah, you just killed like 4 bases, man. We can lose 1. Buy a little bit of time. Yeah, get the Skytles army going. Look away, Zerg players. Yay. Okay, this is nice, though, here for Shin. Getting another base cancelled would be big, and he is indeed going to be able to do exactly that. No cancel even. That was just a straight-up kill. In the meantime, we are still just fishing for free Brute Lords. Arguably now the worst Zerg unit, I think we can say. Maybe Swarm Hosts are slightly worse, but Brute Lords really are a questionable choice. Good job, Brenda. Okay. Yeah, the reason I guess that Hero decided to try and save this expansion is because he's running extremely low. Like, his main and his natural are running out. He needs another base real soon, man. Shin sniping that expansion at the top of the map is really sweet. Same for that base over on the right side. Good snipe there on the Corruptor. Scary army here, though, for Protoss. This is what it, I think, all comes down to. We do have Neural Parasite. We do have Neural Parasite. Careful. Oh, here we go. Shin is sending it. Fungal growth is good, but it deals basically no damage. Here we go, though. He's neuraling whatever he can hit. Is there enough for Zerg to clean this up? I don't believe there is. Nah. Mama and the boys. They're reigning supreme in the air. And because of it, Shin has to tap out. GG. Okay, next up, we find ourselves on the map at Eternity's Edge. I fast-forwarded to 2 minutes and 45 seconds, which is the new timing at which the Cybercore finishes up. I used to fast-forward to minute 2, but I guess because of the 8-worker start, we get about 45 seconds of additional downtime in the earlier stages of the game. I think at this point, everybody is familiar enough with the new patch that you can probably get rid of 2.5 minutes of me yapping. Do we need more or less Loco yapping? I don't know. Stargazer build once again here for Hero. You know what I could alternatively do? Fast forward until both players have 12 workers. Just start the cast when both players get up to 12 workers. Anyways, Stalker over here. Ooh, does snipe. A cheeky little Overlord. And even though we did go for a pretty successful Dark Templar opener last game, even though it dealt no damage, it did allow a pretty strong follow-up. We're not going to do it again. Stargate build here. Let me actually flip the scoreboard. With Hero now spawning at the top of the map. Also spawning at the top of the scoreboard. SHIN at the bottom. Triple hatch opener here for SHIN. Pulling out of gas. Yeah, just mining enough here for metabolic boost, but that's it. I'm assuming we're going to add back in right now. Usually the timing is when you finish up link speed to go back to droning. Okay, yeah. So I guess he made 3 drones and then rallied them into the extractor. It's going to be a pretty slow tech advancement, though, here for the Zerg. Just sticking around on a single Vespene gas geyser for now. A couple of Zerglings on the other side of the map scouting out what's up. And that'll be the end of Otto. Triple Spore Crawler here. Twilight Council. Okay. So I'm assuming it's going to be charge or glaives every time. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I feel like Blink is just not very good. Yeah, seems like Hero is agreeing with me. On the previous patch, the follow-up with Blink was by far the most common. That was like 9 out of 10 Stargate openers, but... Well, Hero, I guess, also would go charge. I think this is not a bad choice. But it's a pretty aggressive one, right? Like, you need to get those Adepts in, and you need to get them to deal damage. Because you can build a game on the back of Blink Stalkers, and the same as well for charge slots, but you can't really build a game based on Glaive Adepts. Like, Adepts just really fall off the longer that the game goes on. SHIN now opting to skip on the regular 4th base options, as he decided to go straight for the gold in the far bottom left. Baneling Nest as well. +1 armor. This is a research that's become a little bit cheaper. 100 minerals and gas for that one alone. Just like the melee upgrade and the missile right now, so kind of a no-brainer choice to go for armor most of the time. This benefits all of the units. I say no-brainer, it's not really true. A lot of units do benefit actually from attack upgrades a bit more, but I guess this is like the you can't really go wrong type of upgrade. Maybe SHIN not entirely decided yet what sort of unit comp he wants to go for, but this is scary, man. +1 melee is a lot nicer to have against Adepts. These Adepts are going to hit pretty hard. So it's Adepts into Blink. Okay. Keep in mind, we do not have a Prism with this. No Proxy Pylon or anything along those lines either. Banelings are finishing up, though, and he sees them, so I don't think Hero can really commit. Yeah, this is kind of unexplored territory in my mind. On the previous patch, this would be really bad for Protoss, because you make all of this, and then you deal no eco damage at all. And all of these units kind of fall off. Well, I guess you can kill the base. Yeah. SHIN is not going to try to keep it alive. Just gives up on it. Rebuilds another base over here on the right side, right next to the Nova fan club. There you are, dude. This is you, right? The one with the stick? Yeah. You can see the googly eyes. Okay. So maybe this is how you can play Blink Stalkers, because I think a Blink Stalker mid-game is good, but you're very vulnerable if you go straight Blink Stalkers. I'm not sure. But I've got a feeling that straight Blink Stalker is just kind of risky. If you go up against any sort of Zerg aggression, you're just in a world of trouble. Infestation Pit. And he's also retaking the gold base. So 2 expansions at the same time here for SHIN. Who's not going to sit around on 69 workers for much longer. He's going to be able to drone up 2 additional bases here real soon. So, action is very much so on Hero, who needs to either build up a 4th base or go for an attack of his own. And here we go. Sentries now indeed have force fields that take 2 corrosive balls to pop. It's a big difference, and the reason why we see sentries yet again. Although in this instance, there's no, corrosive balls anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Banelings, careful with the Banelings. Force fields, please! No, don't move command into them. Okay. Oh my god. Some of the ugliest force fields I've seen. Brenda doing a little victory lap, though. Kind of glitching out a little bit. Hive coming up on the back of this. Shin actually thought he had this easy defended. Those force fields are a lot better. Still not perfect. There was a little bit of a counter-attack as well. Looks like 8 probes ended up going down, but the units that defended are now going to go across the map as well for some offense. This is nice, though, here for Hero, no? I mean, the Zerg numbers are growing, but it's been pretty expensive for Shin to try and defend this. If Shin can get up to Hive, though, and get an Adrenal Glands upgrade, that would be sick. Looks like we are just going to plant down a pylon. Keep in mind that you now have speedy warp-ins regardless on whether or not there's a gateway or a warp prism or whatever. So warping in from a pylon works just fine. This is Hero, though, thinking on the fly, right? Like, this pylon could have definitely been done already. If you look at his resource count, considering this push, he should have had it. Yeah, imagine if he had, like, an extra 9 Stalkers here. That would make a big difference. He's warping in a new batch over here at home, but it's obviously supposed to be right over here at the front. Shield batteries as well. Oh, he's doubling down. This wasn't the original game plan for Hero, but he saw an opportunity and he's taking it. Yeah, this is that tide of Stalkers that we have seen time and time again, where it kind of just seems, at least with good micro, inevitable. You need overwhelming numbers here as the Zerg player to try and break it. Now, I think this fight is very suboptimal for Protoss. The positioning there just really doesn't favor him, but we are now getting to the point where the Stalker numbers are so big that I think he can blink it. I think he can blink straight on top of the Hydras and kill everything. Hatchery itself will just go down. No reason to take the risk, though. Not yet, anyways. There is that gold base in the far bottom left. Hero does not know of it. He has not been scouting. I would have loved to see a group of Zealots heading on over, or maybe some Adepts heading on over in that direction. And while the Stalker micro is distracting Protoss, probes are gonna go down. Okay. That's gonna turn this into effectively an all-in. Hero doesn't know of the gold base, though, so maybe he doesn't realize that this is effectively an all-in. Hydra numbers are going up there. Reinforcing Protoss units are showing up. That's more and more Stalkers. And while maybe straight blink Stalkers are not optimal, playing mono battles in the later stages of the mid-game appears to be perfectly viable. GG. Next up, we find ourselves on Old Sun Temple. Another map with 4 different spawn locations. I did decide to fast forward again through the earlier stages of the game. We had Hero scouting in the wrong direction. Everybody point and laugh at Probius. He didn't know. Yeah, because he couldn't know. To be fair, there was absolutely no way that he could have known. All right, it's going to be a Stargate opener here for Hero. No surprise. We've been seeing a little bit of variety, I guess, with the Twilight Council and the quick Robo. I guess, I've only really seen success now, somewhat success, with the Archon drop, maybe Dark Templar into Archon drops, or like High Templar into Archon drops. I can sort of see that work, but I don't believe we're really going to see a ton of variety that's going to move away from Stargate builds. Stargate builds just seem to be better. Oracles are just, yeah, extremely nice to have. The follow-up as well with Void Rays can be really good, and obviously the fact that it enables late-game Skytoss, right? Because it's honestly a real problem you run into. If you start off with a Ground Toss build, it's a very quick third base, by the way. It's on a single gate. But if you start off with Ground Toss, and you're like, okay, it's now time to go and transition to Skytoss, usually what you do is you put down a fleet beacon, and then you go and make a mothership when the fleet beacon's done. You start up your Tempest or Carrier production. But needing the additional build time of a Stargate is actually very annoying. It takes a long time. Obviously, you can fix that by just going for a Stargate opener and, yeah, have that tech path available for you. It's not nearly as good to have a Robo Facility and go Robo B later on. It's not the same thing. Anyways, we have a little bit of aggression over here. Oracle will have to come back home. Fair enough. It is going to be a full wall off. Not a problem. Yeah, Oracle comes back home. We do have a secondary Oracle as well. That one was originally set up to be defense duty, but apparently we have now both decided to go for defense duty. SHIN, in the meantime, though, is pumping out a lot of workers. When you begin with, such a large number of Zerglings, you do take a little bit of a dip. So the income advantage here is going to equalize over time. Zerglings are attempting to see if they could potentially snipe the third Nexus, but it's not going to happen. Overlord Scout will also reveal nothing spicy going on until Otto died. Goodbye, Otto the Overlord. Hello, Fleet Beacon, second Stargate. Okay, +1 air weapons researching too, right after the Zergling Scout came through. So this is something that Zerg players will be paying attention to. There's a research animation on the Cybercore. I wonder if actually not transforming your gateways could maybe trick Zerg players into thinking you're researching the Warp Gate upgrade. I feel like that would work against me, but maybe it's because I'm dumb. Like, I would look at this and think, oh, maybe it's not +1 air weapons. Maybe on the previous patch, it would always be +1 air weapons at this stage in the game. But you would already see warp gates. Right now, there's no warp gates. Yeah, he sees no way. Now he transforms them. I don't hate this here for Hero. I kind of like, actually, that he didn't just instantly transform them into warp gates. Carrier rush. Yeah. Initially, we saw Hero struggle on this patch quite a bit. But seeing some of his recent games, it really feels like the patch is kind of made for him, you know? Like, we have so much weird shenanigans, so much weird variety. He rarely plays the same build over and over and over again. This patch seems to be perfect for exactly that. Like, there's just no overlap in the build so far. Like, we do something new every game. Is this smart? I don't know. All he really wants is for Zerg players to stay home right now. Mama, added into the mix. It's a huge map, right? Old Sun Temple. Takes a long time to get across, especially in cross locations. We have SHIN now going into Hydralisks. I actually think Hydras are decent here, but you may need Microbial Shroud. Nobody goes Microbial Shroud. Ooh, nice. Nobody goes Microbial Shroud, but I think it's almost a necessity. Because what do you do here with Hydralisks against the Mothership and Carriers? Okay, well, this is kind of silly. SHIN actually gets a free scout. Yeah, those Carriers should have been in the main base. I don't think you really want to be revealing the Carriers until, well, you absolutely need to. Because now SHIN is going to be able to prepare. I think what SHIN should probably at the very least do if he wants to defend with Hydras is go double upgrades and just mass Hydra. Armor upgrades are really nice. Armor upgrades are really nice against Carriers especially. Then again though, we may just want to go for Glass Cannon Zerg instead. Mass Hydra. And only Hydras. Usually though, right, when in a normal game in the previous patch, you would see this sort of transition. There would already be charge slots, and there would already probably be High Templar with Storm as well. We have neither of those two things. So pure Hydra is pretty darn good for the time being. Until Storm hits though. At that point, I think we're gonna have to see a transition to Corruptors. But maybe we have no intention to go Storm. Yeah, I don't think so actually. It's not looking like it. Getting charge going now, +2 air attacks as well. Tempest get cancelled in favor of Void Race. Okay. SHIN has decided that he can apparently play this with a timing attack of some sort. I don't know if I like it. It's like a +1 missile attack Hydra push. He's seeing the timing of the 4th Nexus. Terrible, terrible damage. Right, he plays with the Diva announcer. Is this good for Zerg? I feel like this dilly-dallying in the middle of the map is horrible. We could have already been there, smashing his face. Instead, we're just doing a little bit of sightseeing. I guess he wanted to get the speed upgrade as well for the Hydras, and I can't blame him. Is this good for Zerg? Where's Mama, by the way? Oh, there she is. Mama's busy taking damage from 4 Hydras. You love to see it. Actually, no, you hate to see it. Cloak gets activated, though. Time Warp on the retreat. Oh, Time Warp straight on the army. That also works. Yeah, this is totally fine for Hero. Hero did lose some, but nothing expensive. Especially keeping the carriers alive is such a big deal. +2, by the way, is a massive upgrade for carriers especially. So interceptors, the little things that the carriers shoot twice in one attack. And you can carry 8 interceptors, meaning that this is effectively a +16. +16 damage on carriers. It's a big deal. I don't know if chasing the Zerg army is smart. I guess the Hydras right now are distracted with the Zealots, which allows all of the interceptors to be deployed. Yeah, Hero originally was leaving games without a GG on the new patch. He's still been doing it as well, though, this week too, but I feel like he's cooking up something. I don't know. Maybe it's not delicious. Maybe it's not going to be a very nutritious meal either. It looks kind of gross. But he's cooking. He's cooking something. Now we go Storm. Okay. +1 armor over +3 attacks. Yeah, actually, I think this is... He's probably just making, like, the home equivalent of junk food. He's seen, like, an online recipe for a Big Mac or something, and he's trying to recreate it. It's like, bro, just go to the... Just go buy one, man. It's easier. Just, like, that's the whole point, right? Like, why are we trying to recreate this at home? It looks kind of messed up, I guess. But once Storm is out, I'm really liking this position for Hero. Shin doesn't know it, but his window is closing. The age of the Hydralisk is almost over. He does have 80 workers, though, which is pretty good, but it's not as big as the economy right now for Hero. We're going Microbial Shroud. I think that's what we're doing anyways. Yep, Infestor's coming up. I think it's a good investment. Lowko, you're so funny. I'm going to hit the like button. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. All right. Always nice to hit a supply block. A robo facility as well right now. Mostly just for observers, I'm sure. Because we don't have a single observer. We also do not have a Oracle anymore. So that means we get no detection. Are we going to send it on creep? Oh, we're sending it on creep. I don't know, man. Cloak, I guess, is kind of nice, but there's about 1 million overseers up in the air, give or take. Time Warp into Storm pretty good. To not have a detection unit at this stage, like to not have an observer, is insanity. That's the end of the High Templar. New ones are showing up. What a game. What a game. Oh my god, the Hydras are stuck. The Hydralisks are stuck. I think this is it, man. What a disgusting game. Yeah. The more games Hero gets under his belt on the new patch, the grosser the games appear to become. And I kind of like it. GG.